Hello, everyone. Welcome to Rachel's Craft Corner, December edition. We're very happy to have you all here with us. If somebody gets on here, let us know if you can hear us, because that's always an issue that we need to be worried about. So please, somebody let me know if you can hear me, because that's important. Okay, I'm waiting. No, we'll just go ahead and keep going. If I have to repeat myself, then so be it. That's okay. So we are making tonight, you guys. Oh, I didn't even pull them off the wall yet. Let me get them to show you. Oh, you can kind of see them over here. So we're making these burlap door hangers. So these are cute. These have been around for like a while. I feel like lots of people make different. You can make any kind of shape. So we decided to go Christmas, and we have an ornament design one and then a Christmas tree. So this is my ornament one. This is Megan's beautiful tree. I decided to mix it up tonight, and I'm going to be working on a tree. So this is what we're working on. So maybe I can prop these up here. Let's see. They're just gonna sit here. That's fine. So this is, I will warn you, this is a messy craft. For those of you who bought our kit, I do have them prepared a little bit to where it cuts out like the biggest part of the mess, I feel like. So we'll get into that in a second. So the supplies that you're gonna need if you are doing this elsewhere, or you want to, oh, thanks, Megan. This is perfect. So if you have these supplies at home already, or you're doing this somewhere else where you can't purchase our craft kit, the supplies that you're going to need, wow, look at how perfect that is. That's stinking adorable. Perfect. Okay, so what you're gonna need for this is like a big roll of burlap, like big width-wise, or if you can get like yards of burlap. I suppose you could do the same kind of thing with regular fabric that's not burlap. What I love about the burlap is that it's really forgiving. It's very like kind of farmhouse type of look. It does not, your lines don't need to be perfect because you kind of get this frayed edge. So we went with burlap just because it's kind of a cute style. So you could do it with regular fabric if that's what you have, or maybe even like paper, if you had like big rolls of paper. The possibilities are endless. So we have lots of burlap. So to get started, what we did is we just cut out a couple of like tracers of our shape out of like cardboard, and we glued taped two pieces together in order to get the shape, because we had this cardboard laying around, and just made the tracers. So then what I did to get started, you probably can't see very well, I just traced with a Sharpie onto the burlap with our little tracer. So we have one for a tree and one with an ornament. And so if you bought our kit, you told us which one you wanted. And so we just kind of want to make it easy for whoever, if you want to buy one of these, how your kit will come is pre-cut out. And then also what I did for those of you at home who didn't buy the kit, our burlap is kind of like see-through, like the weave of it is a pretty loose weave. So what I ended up doing is putting two pieces on top of each other and hot gluing them together just to make it so it was like a little less see-through. So with two on there, I think it's nice and sturdy. You're not going to be able to see through it quite as much. And so then that way your colors get kind of stay a little bit more vibrant. I feel like if it's a little bit thicker. So then once you have I'm just going to try and make it quick for you guys. I know I tend to keep you guys long. So we're going to just kind of go whip through some stuff, because this one we can't really make it beginning. I mean, we could make it beginning to end on video, but with all the painting and the drying and that sort of thing, we're going to just kind of go through it a little bit quicker. And then if you guys need to rewatch this, totally can. And also if you have any questions, shoot us a comment on the video, shoot us a message on Facebook, and we can get back to you on that. So I feel like I'm talking very fast. Well, let me slow down a minute. Maybe take a drink. That's what I should do. We are at the winery after all. It's nice to be back at the winery for craft night. For this one, because it's messy, I needed a bit more space. So I made myself a nice little craft area here. They have all the nice supplies and things. And my craft area, as you can see, is always kind of messy. I'm a messy crafter. And just kind of in general, just, creative. Just like to have everything everywhere. It's fine. So once you get your pieces of burlap cut out, you can hot glue them together to make, so I would say probably for one of these, you could get away with, I think that's what we did, 3 pieces of burlap total. So you're gonna want to glue the ones that are gonna be the front, you're gonna wanna glue 2 pieces together, and then you're gonna want 1 piece for the back, unless you want it to be more opaque, which I feel like for the back, it's not really gonna matter. I don't know, unless you wanted to paint both sides, and then you could have it be like 2 different designs. I know a lot of people do like, they'll have like a scarecrow sign, they flip it around, looks like a snowman. You could always, if you wanted, like for your tree, make one side Christmassy and the other side like for winter, to just flip it over in January. So if you wanted to do that, I would recommend gluing both. So 4 pieces together, 4 pieces, 2 together, 2 together, then you combine them at the end. But totally up to you. So I think I think that's what I did, is I just did 1 piece in the back. Either way, it'll be fine. You'll probably be able to see your stuffing through it, but that's really not a big deal, because I mean, if it's up against your door or a wall, no one's going to see that. And just to kind of save time. So once you have your 2, oh, hi, Mary. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Glad there's a friend out there. I'm feeling like a scattered mess today, but it's fine. It's good. Hey, Mary. Okay. So what if you purchased our craft kit, the way that your kit came was with 2 pieces glued together. And then I also painted, like pre-painted mine white so that my colors would pop out. This is not necessary. You do not have to do this, but the difference is, so when Megan made hers, she kind of went with more of like a rustic look to it, didn't paint the background first, which is totally fine. It's still super cute, just looks a little different. And then when I did mine, I painted mine white first because I wanted like the red and the gold to really pop. The burlap, I find, like absorbs the paint a little bit, which is totally fine. But if you have it white first, then your colored paint goes on top of the white. And so it's more of like a true color. But this still looks really nice. So if you're doing this at home, you definitely do not need to paint it white first. You could do it just right on top of there. But depending on how you want your hanger to look, you might need to be doing like more coats. Another tip that I have for this one, when you're painting it white, if you have chalk paint, white chalk paint, or I guess chalk, like other colored chalk paint for just the whole thing in general, if you're not painting it white first, it dries really fast and covers really well. So that's always a nice thing to have for something like this. If you're worried about, not having to paint or something, chalk paint is gonna like cover a good area and then dry fast. So you're not waiting around for your thingy, your burlap to dry. I'm so well spoken, you guys. Your thing. And of course, I just being the mess that I am today, because it's December and there's a lot going on. Mine isn't fully dry yet. So I think I'm still gonna try to paint on it. We're gonna see how it goes. So I'm gonna paint my tree green. So green dip. But no, I really do love like Christmas trees in general. So, you know what I'm gonna do? So for our cutout, I don't know if you guys can see. So I like how Megan did her star where she drew the bottom of it, because it kind of blends in. Like we have the top of the star. So you have to add, if you have the tree and you want the star to look like how it looks there, you're gonna have to like kind of draw the little 2 points on the bottom. So I'm gonna take a Sharpie and just kind of outline how I want my star to go. I am not an artist in any way, shape, or form. I am very crafty, but I'm not very artistic. And so for stuff like this, I usually make stencils. I think for this one, I had something to help me with like my straight lines, like literally can't even draw a straight line. So I had something and like maybe a square that I like traced. So if you are like me and need a little help in the artistic side, stencils are great. You can even like print stuff off of the internet. Like if you wanted your ornaments on the tree to be a certain shape, or you wanted a particular design or whatever, just print it off the internet, honestly, and then just like cut it out, stick it on there and trace it. And then you can paint it, like fill it in with paint. I do that kind of stuff all the time because I can't freehand stuff. Like even the star, I'm like, you see how Megan did it because it's actually a little wet and doesn't want me to
use paint. That's what I did.
Use paint. She did. Okay, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to just put some green on it and then just like draw a line on the.
I put green underneath my star because I'm a dumb.
Oh, Megan just said that she painted the whole thing green, like even the star, and then covered it in yellow. That was an accident. I didn't know until you just told me. So that's okay. So do whatever. It's very true. So I'm just going to see if I can make it work like this. I won't keep you guys on here for me to paint this entire thing because it is going to take a little while to dry. Actually, if you're smart, not like me, I think when I did this one, yes, this is what you should do. So when you have your white dry, a pencil is really good. Especially chalk paint, but on white paint, a pencil is going to show up on your white. So if you have any kind of tracings or know what design you want to do, trace it onto the white. So then that way you're not having to layer paints on top of green paint. Like that's the whole point of painting it white, so that the color that you choose is going to pop on there. So I think I just made a little bit of a mistake, but I'm just going to go with it because that's what we're doing right now. I don't know what paintbrush I want. I think I need a big paintbrush. This is how today is going, everyone.
This whole week.
Thank you. This is a crazy week, so please bear with me. Okay, thank you. This is exactly what I needed. Okay, my paint isn't dry, so we're just gonna talk about this, I think, because my white is mixing in with my green, and it's not green. It's okay. You guys get the gist. So yes, that's my recommendation. Is if you know what design you're gonna do, wait for your white paint to dry, take a pencil, and draw out the design. One idea that I had, I'm going to try to do it. I don't know if any of my sisters are watching, but I wanted to make these for my sisters and put like a bulb on the tree for each member of the family and then put their name in it. I think that sounds really cute. And then they can hang it on their door. So, if I get my act together and am I able to finish this stinking thing? That was my idea for this. If you need ideas on how to decorate your ornament or your tree or like whatever look that you're going for, Pinterest, as always, is an amazing resource. You can just type in like burlap hanger tree or burlap hanger ornament or door hanger, whatever. There's I think I took this design off of some video I saw on Pinterest. So you can check on there to see if you're like unsure of what you want to put on there. Otherwise, just get creative. If you just want to have the thing green with like whatever, like Megan did hers kind of plaid looking, which I think is really cool. That's a really neat design. You could totally do that. You could do anything you want. I was thinking of too, like it might be cute just to have like little polka dots, like have the whole thing one color with like red polka dots, or that would be cute for the ornament too. You could just get creative with it. And what's really, really nice is with the burlap, you do not need to be perfect. It's got this really raw edge. And so, you don't have to make everything like covered totally. Like it's really forgiving. So it's going to be it's easy and not easy to work with, easy to work with because it's so forgiving, but it's just messy. You're going to have little frayed things all over the place. So just be prepared for that. I should have came with an apron or something, but it's fine. We're here doing it. That's really all that matters. So yeah. So we're going to just go ahead and skip ahead a little bit because my paint isn't dry yet. So we're going to, I have a little paint. So because my paint's not dry, I'm not going to paint mine right now. I think we have questions. One moment.
Yeah. When they get it though, it'll be pre-white for them, right?
Yes. Okay. So the ones that we're sending, people, if you're thinking of buying this, Megan's question was, if you're buying the kit, is it going to be painted white already? Yes. unless you don't want it painted white, let us know, because otherwise we're going to prep it for you so that it'll already be dry. If you want it, I mean, I don't see if anyone, I mean, I guess if you wanted the look to be kind of rustic, or you wanted it to be burlap, like if you wanted, you know, to maybe just put an outline and you wanted the tree to be burlap color, let us know when you purchase your kit, because for all the ones we've done already, we painted it white so that you could add a design easier. So it's going to be like, it's going to look just like this minus the big green blob in the middle, and it'll be dry and ready for you to like pencil in your design and then just get to do the fun stuff from there. It will be messy because you're going to have to, you know, use paint to put your design on there. But I wonder too, you could maybe even do like Sharpie markers. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, like once the white paint is dry, it's pretty easy to work with from there. If you wanted to get like, you know, some people are stinking amazing with the calligraphy stuff. You might could use like your fancy dancy markers and do like hand lettering or whatever. Just, you guys are so creative. I'm sure you guys can come up with something. But so when you buy the kit, we will have it white for you. But if you didn't want that, you can just let us know, and we won't paint it white. Or if you don't let us know, just flip it over because it's going to be burlap, or that's messy. But you're going to have pieces of burlap that are not painted, so you can just use the other side for your design if you didn't want it white. But I kind of recommend painting it white because then it's just, I feel like it's easier to paint on because the burlap soaks up so much of the paint. Good question, Megan. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of other questions for you.
Yeah, that's helpful. So once everything's dry, I would wait until everything's dry before you put the whole thing together. That's one thing that does kind of stink, is that you're not, you know, you'll need some time in between. If you're like, I have one night to work on this craft and I want to get it done, take a hair dryer to it and just use your hair dryer to dry it really fast so that you can just like get it done. Because I totally understand when you like are wanting to, you know, have a craft night, but you only have like one designated night to do it and you want to just get it all done. And I'm sure if you had enough time in one evening, you could. It does just take a little bit of time for that paint to dry, particularly this white layer, as I am finding out, because I did use quite a bit. I was really generous on it because there was 2 pieces of burlap. So it kind of soaked through both of them. So that's what that looks like. So we are going to talk about piecing the whole thing together. So once you have, like I said, everything's dry, you have your design on there the way that you want, you always can add like finishing touches once the whole thing's put together. This front side is like very sturdy. So if you wanted to like even piece it together while it was still white, and then like let it dry on your door, you totally could. So up to you. So we're going to talk about putting this together. It's honestly so simple. So all that you're going to do, you need to have another piece of burlap here. And all you're going to do is just you need a hot glue gun for this. I didn't mention, or if you had other kind of glue. So we aren't providing hot glue guns, because then we wouldn't have any here for you when you come to do crafts when that's allowed indoors. So if you don't have a hot glue gun, other kinds of glue will probably work. You're going to want something that's going to dry relatively fast, because otherwise you're only gluing the edges of the back piece of burlap, because we like stuffed these to kind of add some dimension. It's almost like a little pillow. So it's really fun because it kind of like, you know, pops right off the door because it's got some like dimension to it. It's because it's got like some width. So you're basically just kind of making like just a little bitty pillow. You're making it stuffed so that it pops out. So if you have glue that doesn't dry fast, you might need to take like clothespins or something to clamp it together in different spots so that it will dry together. And then what I would do is just leave a little tiny, so again, my thing's not dry, so I'm not gonna do it. We're gonna talk about it though. So normally when you're doing this, you would take your hot glue gun and just kind of go right around the edge of your design and line it up with your painted one. Every time I do that, every time I pick it up, I get more white paint on my hands. So you're going to want to just like do the edge of your back piece of burlap, and then you're going to line up your designed one to the edge. So then you're going to do that like the whole way around, or, same thing with this. Just this one, I feel like maybe is a little easier because it's just like one big shape. So you do just the edge, hot glue, and then stick your burlap down, add a little more hot glue, like peel it down again and press it down. And then once you have it like almost all the way around, I would say leave a space, maybe, what is that, like 6 inches or so, that you haven't glued down, because you want to stuff this. So what we ended up using to stuff our door hangers is just plastic grocery bags. They ended up being like a really, really nice stuffing. It added the dimension and stuff that we wanted. And who doesn't have like 800 million of these lying around? So it's a good way to recycle them instead of, whatever, throwing them away. Because I know I have like a gazillion, even though I have like a little organizer thing for them, it's still like busting at the seams. So I'm always happy when I can get rid of some of those, and it's not just being thrown away, because if I can recycle something, even better, especially when crafting. In some of like the other posts and things that I saw about this type of craft, people went out and bought, what is that stuff called? Like the fluff, like the polyfill. Thank you. The polyfill to fill it, which you can, but honestly, like this is essentially free, and I always have a zillion of them. And it works just the same. We use that. So we used just the bags. So once you have your whole thing glued, except for like a little piece of it, you can just literally start stuffing those bags in there. So like for this one, it's got, it gets skinny at the top. If you take something like, I feel like I use like these paintbrushes would work. You might want something like long and kind of sturdy to like push the bags into the smaller parts of the design. So like the star gets kind of small. I would even maybe like before I get to like the very bottom or wherever I left my little gap, I might start stuffing the star, because it's got kind of a small opening's going to be kind of smaller. I would probably stuff the star with a bag up in there before I finished and got just to the bottom. Otherwise, if you like didn't realize, I should have done that earlier, that's when something like this is going to be helpful. And this will still be really pliable, so you can kind of work with it. Oh, I have a question.
Sorry.
Let's pause.
When you're gluing,
yes,
the edges so there's only one layer on the back. So are you using some kind of protection to glue them together?
That's a good question.
It would be hot. Right?
That's a good question. So Megan's question was, if I'm only using one piece of burlap on the back, am I using some sort of protection for my hands? I usually don't, but I do burn myself. So maybe you should use some kind of protection. One thing that I have done in the past is take the back of my pair of scissors and glue, put the thing down, and then hold the scissors down to put it all together. They make little fingertip cover things. Yes. I swear they have them at Hobby Lobby. They make little fingertip protectors for just that purpose. So they protect your fingers from getting burned from the hot glue. So if you have some of those, this would be a time that you would want to put those on. I feel like I need to get myself some of those. Like I have burned my fingers so many stinking times on hot glue that.
We're just like those gloves, like the gloves that you use when you're like in a grill pit. They have gloves for that. That's like really high.
Like oven mitts?
They're like oven mitts, but they're like higher temperature even.
Interesting.
Like welder's gloves.
So if you have some welder's gloves lying around,
Yes.
pull them out for craft night. Megan is just teaching me all of these handy dandy things. I would say oven mitts, but usually oven mitts are like fabric and you're going to get hot glue in your oven mitts, which I don't know. Maybe if you have like a pair you're about to throw away, save them for crafting, because I know I have some like ratty oven mitts that maybe you need to just turn into crafting things. But you can honestly use like kind of like how you're using, the paintbrush to stuff your bags up in there. Use a paintbrush to hold it down. Like, put your hot glue, put the layer on top, and then just use a paintbrush this way. Use a paintbrush to press the edges down. Use some sort of tool, because if you use your hands, you're probably going to get burned from the hot glue.
We supply the paintbrush in the kits.
Yes, so you have paintbrushes in your kits, and we will supply you with one if you buy one later on. So you will have a tool. So please don't burn yourself. It hurts. I have done it many a time. Good question, Megan.
Yeah, you were stuffing the star.
Yes. So we are now stuffing the star, everyone. Bear with me. So yeah, once you just kind of, get started and put the bags, like as many as you can in there, take something that's like long and skinny and just like push it into all the spots in there. If you're having a hard time with it, you might be able to even kind of like use the back of it to kind of like smush them in there. But yeah, my tip is that if you're having a hard time getting the bags into like these little crevices on the tree, use something long and that's you can like push it down with. I feel like for smaller projects, I've used things like chopsticks. Those are nice and long. If you need something longer than like a paintbrush, maybe like a ruler. I'm sure that you guys all have stuff laying around your house that you can use to make sure. What's that?
Knitting needles.
Knitting needles. Yes.
That's what I would have.
Exactly. That was a great idea. So you could totally use knitting needles to do that too. Okay, so then once you have all the stuffing in there that you want, you can put a good amount in there. I feel like I could have put more, but I was okay. I was happy with the way that, like, the kind of dimension that this one had. And two, I feel like these can get a little the front parts can get a little bit stiff. So feel free to like loosen them up if you want to be able to put more stuffing in there. If you loosen it, it'll kind of give you more like leeway. Like I've got some space in here. I could have stuffed it with more, but I was happy with how full that was, so I just left it. So then once you have all the stuffing in that you want to make sure that you go back and glue the bottom shut. So that's when, especially if you don't have hot glue, and even if you do, if your thing is stuffed pretty full, you might want something to clamp down your back piece to your front piece to hold, like keep it on hot glue so that it'll glue shut. If you have it like really stuck to the gills, which is fine if you wanted to have it that way, you might just need something like not your fingers to like hold it shut to where it stays. And the glue dries like super fast, so it won't take very long. Like if you had something and kind of had to, hold like clamps or whatever to keep that shut. So then the last thing that you need to do after you have your design painted how you want it, you're back glued, it's stuffed with like bags or stuffing, or I think we even use like maybe for this one, I think I even used like scrap pieces of burlap. That was like another experimental thing that we did. So if you don't have bags, if you don't have polyfill, you can use scrap pieces of fabric. If we have, so I think we did provide some bags for some people, or just said like, hey, use some plastic grocery bags to stick in there. If you need some and you're going to buy a kit, let us know and we will definitely provide you with some. But I mean, I feel like everybody has got to have grocery bags at their house or something. But you can use other things. So if you're not buying a kit, you can use like anything like soft and pliable, shove it up in there. It'll work. So once you have it all put together, you kind of have your pillow. The last thing that you need to do is just add the hanger thing. So I ended up using some of this like raffia and I made a bow out of it. So I made mine a little bit decorative. Oh shoot, you can kind of see it there. It's kind of hard to see. So I made mine a little decorative. I took some raffia and turned it and put a bow on there. So you're going to be able to see this. But if you didn't want to be able to see what you're using to hang it, this one, we took a piece of like a smaller piece of the raffia and you just kind of weave it. Let me do this. You kind of weave it through the burlap, especially on the back. If there's only one piece, it's going to be like pretty pliable and easy to just like poke like a ribbon or a wire. And then this one is hidden, so you're not going to be able to see the hanger on that. Another thing that I've seen with this craft that people will do is they have some kind of like wire that they you kind of poke on either side of it, and then it's like a big kind of wire. That's actually a pretty look that people do, particularly with crafts that have like a more rustic feel to them. Normally it would be like a silver or like metal looking wire, but I found this floral wire at the Dollar Tree and was like, oh, well, this would be a good little hanger for our December craft. So I'm actually gonna add this wire to this one so you guys can kind of see how that's done. You're gonna want a wire that's fairly pliable so that you can like poke it in and weave it. So I'm gonna just add this and see how long I want it. Okay, I'm gonna add like a good amount to it. I have my wire cutters. So yeah, I got this floral wire at the Dollar Tree. They had red and gold. This stuff is really fun. It's like super, super pliable. You can even use this to like decorate your tree if you wanted to like really make it pop out, like make little curly cues or like make these into ornaments. Like you can, like this stuff is really, really fun. You can do tons of stuff with it. So I'm going to add it and just so you guys can see how another type of hanger could be used. So I'm going to take an end of my wire and I'm just going to poke it through on one side of my tree. I'm going to poke it down and then pull it back up through like another, where there's like kind of another hole on. Oh, hi again.
Sorry.
That's okay. Thanks for joining for a second. We got a little surprise visitor from Megan. That was fun.
I'm turning my battery's running low, so I was need to get back up.
Megan is just experimenting over there. Her battery's running low. It's fine. Okay. So I just fed my wire through the back of my tree and then pulled it back up, like pulled it down and then pulled it back up so that I could kind of twist it. So this one, all I did was just pull like the little end and twist it to the side so that it'll stay in place. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm just going to poke it down and pull it back up. You have to kind of work with your tree a little bit. Now that I'm doing this, it really looks like, I think we put two pieces together for the back, which is fine because it's a little bit thicker. So now I have my hands are so full of paint. I have my wire right here. It's pulled through, so it's poking out on the end, and then I'm just gonna push it up so that it'll stay in place there. So then this is another way you can add a hanger. We will have wires provided with our craft kit, but if you didn't want to be able to see this at all or anything, you could use like something smaller or cut your wire and put it in the middle of your tree and then just kind of loop it instead of doing it on either side. This one, you can barely see it, but so yeah, this is just another way you can do it. I feel like I've seen some where people have like a big old wire on there, which is, you can do that too if you want. It's totally up to you. So this is just another way to add a hanger to where you can put it on your door, on a hook, on a nail on the wall, however you want to go about it. So our two shapes are these, like I said, the ornament and the tree that you guys have seen, but you could get so creative with this and do tons of shape. I know the little tree truck thing with the tree is like super popular. If you did that little pickup truck, the red truck that like you see in decorations, like decor stuff all the time, that one is really popular. If you found like a good template, I can't draw, so I would need a template to cut it out of the burlap or fabric or whatever. That one would be fun because you could make different ones for different seasons or holidays or whatever, because I've seen some that are like little Easter eggs in the back of the truck or pumpkins or whatever the heck you want. So that would be a really fun one. If you guys come up with any other ideas, please let us know. I love to see what you guys are able to come up with. This one it's really fun. You can make it super versatile. This is something that you're not going to have the exact same one as anybody else that's doing this craft because you get to just make it your own. And then another thing you can add to, like after this is all said and done, if you wanted to add like stick a bow somewhere on there, you can just get crazy. So I think that's it. Do we have any other questions or comments or anything? Oh, thanks, Megan. So if you guys didn't get enough of burlap for this time around, for January, we decided to make these really fun burlap wreaths. So we are going to make them kind of more winter themed, but you can do whatever you want. If you wanted to like get a jump start and make a burlap wreath for like Valentine's Day or something, you totally could. We had a special request to make these wreaths. So this is going to be really, really fun. This is one where we're going to really take our time in the video so I can show you step by step. I know that these wreaths can look a little bit intimidating because it's like, oh my gosh, like look at all those ruffles and whatever. I swear it's not hard. Anybody can do it. You just have to have a little bit of patience. So we're going to make these really pretty burlap winter wreaths. And we haven't fully decided exactly what like decorations we're going to have available for our kits. So stay tuned for that. Maybe we can post like a couple different options or like different bow designs or something like that, whatever. Or if you have a special request within reason, we could probably, fulfill that. If you wanted like a certain color bow or a certain color decoration for your craft kit, let us know, because we're reasonable people. And I think that we could probably, if you wanted something somewhat custom, if you wanted like a initial for your winter wreath, we can make it work. So that is our craft for next month. We're just on a burlap kick. It never goes out of style, I feel. So we're just going to roll with it and use the burlap for wreaths for next month. So yes, if you guys have requests on that, if you guys have, questions leading up to it, let us know and we'll get that situated. Was there a date on that one, Megan?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Here.
Thank you.
January 7th.
January 7th. We will do our wreaths on January 7th. So if you want to get your orders in early for that so that we can get it all prepped for you, that's awesome. But you can always get your craft kit after the fact too. We have pretty much all the supplies on hand for any of the previous ones that we've done. And if we don't, we'll get them for you. We want to keep you guys crafting, keeping you busy during this time. I know things look really different. It's not fun that you can't get together, physically and have our holiday parties and all that. But this might be something really fun that you could do like virtually with your friends. So that's, you could do a totally like a virtual craft night or with family. And I think this stuff is great, like, because I have all my family lives not near to me in Iowa. I'm way out in the middle of nowhere. So, compared to my family, Iowa's not the middle of nowhere. So, we're just kind of providing, tools for you to have a good time. And you can do that virtually too. So we will even ship craft kits if you would like. So please just let us know. We'll make it work. We're totally willing to work with you guys. We so appreciate everybody who has been supporting us these days. Honestly, we're here if you need craft supplies, if you need wine. We've got gifts. We have some new gifts in our little retail section here. Oh, I have the perfect one to show you guys. We came up with some really cute designs for these awesome, look at the craft one.
Oh, the craft one.
For some awesome burlap bags that we have in our section, in our retail section here at the winery. We have these. Do we have these online yet?
No.
Okay, they will be online eventually.
We're working on it.
We're working on it. So that you can buy them online if you wanted something like this shipped. So we have, I don't know if this is backwards or not for you guys. I don't think it is. Okay, you should be able to read this. So we have some really cute little like market canvas totes. This one says farm fresh produce. Just kidding, it's all mine. We have like 5 different designs. This is one of them. This one is really fun. And then another one that we have for all of our Soldier Creek crafters. I bought one of these bags for myself because I was like, this is just too perfect. So another bag that we have, it says today's good mood is sponsored by Wine and Crafts. I keep a craft project in this bag at all times so that if I'm leaving to go somewhere, if I'm going to be like in a car for a while and have something that I can be working on, I just like throw a little craft project in this bag so that I can take it with me and be working on, a craft project at any time. Obviously you could keep wine in here or anything else that you want. But so yeah, we've got other stuff other than wine, other than craft stuff. We've got it all. So you guys just let us know if you need anything. But after all that, I was like, I'm going to make it quick. And now I'm just talking forever. Sorry. So if you have any questions on this craft, please let us know. I know I kind of got through it all, but we have our examples. So hopefully you guys kind of got the gist. But again, if you have questions, let us know. We will get back to you on that. And please share your crafts with us. We love to see your guys' finished products. If you want to purchase this craft kit from us, let us know. If you wanted something within reason that's not Christmas related, let us know. Maybe we can make you a special shape. If it's something really out there, it might not be perfect. But if you wanted something that wasn't Christmas, like if you were like, oh, I really like the burlap door hanger, but you have a Christmas wreath already that you put up every year, we could maybe make something else for you. You guys just let us know. But okay, I'll go ahead and wrap up for tonight. Thank you so much for watching and for crafting with me. I hope that you guys have a wonderful holiday season. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, all of the above, and have a great night.